You're welcome to Practical Computer Comprehensive Online School at number 2 Howard Crescent, Aba. I'm your today instructor, Emanuela. This is the third time week 1 to 2. The subject is creative and cultural arts, and the theme of our lesson is customs and tradition. The topic of our lesson today is traditional fabrics and dresses. This for basic 2 class. The instruction objectives. By the end of the lesson, you, my beautiful learner, is expected 1. To identify different traditional attires worn by people in the community, and 2. Mention the importance of traditional dresses to the nation. I hope you have your learning materials. I will expect you to have your writing materials, and I'll be showing you samples of traditional fabrics, pictures of people with different traditional attires. Let's introduce the topic of our lesson, which says traditional fabrics and dresses. There are over 315 ethnic groups in Nigeria. Some of these ethnic groups are Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Ibibio, Fulani, Ishekiri, Efik, and other ethnic groups. But we have 3 major ones. We are Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. These ethnic groups have different traditional fabrics and dresses, which they use to grace their traditional occasions and other ceremonies in their communities, and which they are known for. Our content. The first says identifying different traditional attires worn by people in the community. I repeat, identifying different traditional attires worn by people in the community. Now let's see on the meaning of traditional fabrics. When we talk about traditional fabrics, these are materials used in making different traditional attires worn by people in our locality. Such materials are adire, isiago, ashoke, ntorika, akoete, ankara, and other traditional fabrics different people use in their communities. Now, what do we mean by traditional attires, or we say traditional dresses? Listen attentively. These are different clothing attires worn by people to cultural events or occasion. Now, when you wear your traditional attire to occasion, people will expect to see something about you. Now, what could that be? Remember, you are gracing where you are coming from. These traditional attires, like we've mentioned, or you call it traditional dresses, are the clothing which you wear to a traditional event. Such clothing are Sokoto, Babariga, Isiago, Ukwakwa, and other traditional attires. But I want you to still remember that these traditional attires were made from the traditional fabrics. Now this is a picture of traditional fabric used in making dresses. Now this is an Igbo man dressed in Isiago and an Igbo woman dressed in blouse and the wrapper. Now let's look at Yoruba traditional fabric in dressing. This a Yoruba woman dressed in buba and a Yoruba man dressed in Novada. Both are using the asoke fabric. Now here is Hausa traditional fabric in dressing. This is an Hausa man dressed in babariga and an Hausa woman wearing hijab. Why do we wear these traditional dresses? Now that's the second one of our objectives, remember, and it says importance of traditional dresses in Nigeria. The value and the importance of these traditional dresses are 1. Remember, we are talking about the reasons why we wear these clothes. 1. It is a mark of identification. 2. It creates a sense of pride. 3. It creates unity. 4. It creates a sense of belonging. 5. It brings out one's beauty and the beauty in our culture. Now, let's go back to this importance again. When we said it is a mark of identification, it tells us where someone is coming from. It tells us who someone is. Like when you see a king dressed in his traditional attire, you know that this person is of royalty. Now, in number two, we said it creates a sense of pride. Take, for example, on the day of a cultural day festival, most of you were dressed in your different traditional attires and you were so proud of yourself. Now, that is what we meant by it creates a sense of pride. It will bring out someone's beauty, it creates unity. When we talk about creating unity, what are we trying to say about that? I hope you're listening very well. Take for example, we mentioned the major ethnic groups in Nigeria, the Igbo, the Hausa, and the Yoruba. Remember, on a cultural day festival, we had different people from different tribes dressed in their cultural attires. Now, what was that showing? They were trying to show that we all are one. No matter where we are coming from, we are one. That's the unity we are talking about. Number four says it creates a sense of belonging. Like we stated so far, that it tells people where you're coming from. Number five says it brings out one's beauty and the beauty in a culture. Remember, I've mentioned beauty. So when you wear your traditional dresses made from the traditional fabric that you could see in different ethnic groups in Nigeria, it brings out the beauty in you. And I believe you've listened attentively to my lessons. Always remember to read the book, and at the end of this lesson, we have been able to achieve our objective, which says traditional fabric and dresses, knowing their meaning and their importance. Thank you so much for staying here with me.